Hello everybody, Michael Crouch here with Video Talk 3. So we were given this article, this Fox News article to look at, and it talks about the superintendent of Marion County, Florida, who removed homework as a requirement for elementary school students, which, sounds great to those students and probably their teachers as well. Our assignment was to find research that either supports or refutes the underlying educational theory into this decision. And so my first concern is that the article, like many news articles, did not actually cite the book or the article that the superintendent used to make this decision. So without knowing the educational theory that was used there, we really don't have a whole lot to go on, other than they made this decision because Professor Allington, in something that he wrote, made the conclusion that homework does not necessarily benefit students. So I found a few articles that do not support getting rid of homework in its entirety. In fact, most of the research, 2 out of the 3 articles that I'm going to discuss, they make the case for reinventing homework, using it differently, reimagining it, etc. So the first article that I'm going to talk about, Primary Teachers' Opinion About Homework, was a study done on involving Romanian primary school teachers. And the 2 big takeaways here were that, number 1, they want daily homework. The teachers advocate for daily homework, but they also advocate for parental involvement with homework. And that's something that was similar to the Florida case, because the superintendent made the point of saying that the parents should be reading to the children for 20 minutes a day. So parental involvement there, parental involvement in Romania, it seems sort of in the same vein, and I imagine that's probably going to be a common theme among some of the articles that we're all reading. And I can see where that would be of better use, because especially at the elementary school age, the students rely on their parents for greater explanation than they might at older ages like high school and college age. The second article that I looked at was called Doing Our Homework on Homework, Does Homework Help? And this is one of the ones that says that not all homework is bad, but not all homework is good either. So they're advocating for assessing homework to ensure that it supports a larger purpose in student development. For example, they advocate for eliminating busy work. And what I mean by busy work was simple assignments that show mastery of one small skill. And the biggest thing that I can remember from my school days was vocabulary. I know there's some value to rote memorization, but as we go on, that's becoming more devalued, I think. So having students copy down vocabulary words and their definitions 3 times each, all that really does is to support memorization of the words in their definition rather than an understanding of those words' meaning and application. So they also advocate for, the author was an English teacher, and so she advocated for choosing fewer unnecessarily long texts. For example, if the assignment was to allow students to do character analyses, could those character analyses be done with a text that's 200 pages long as opposed to a text that's 300 or 400 pages long? So this would help to decrease the amount of time that students have to spend outside of class working on this kind of work. The last article that I looked at was called Looking at Homework Differently, and again, it advocated for, on the side of homework's not bad, it needs to be rethought of, or reimagined. And this particular teacher's thought was that homework should not only be used to reinforce the information that students learn in class, but should be used to help encourage student growth in other socio-cultural areas like interpersonal communication and interpersonal connections, becoming part of the larger academic community, and adjusting to the expectations that will be required of them later in life, particularly in their academic lives. So middle school, high school, college, etc., learning how to work with others, again, getting kind of away from busy work and focusing on understanding and application in those sort of larger areas. So those are, just 3 examples of research that I've found that that refute the superintendent's ruling to get rid of homework altogether for that age level. There is some crossover, obviously, as far as like the parental involvement, but overall, the research that I've found suggests that homework's not bad, it's not good either, and that we need to take a look at it and reimagine it, rethink it, and sort of repurpose it. So thanks for listening. Have a good week.